Welcome to Truth Report. I'm Alex Truth.
And I'm Maya Clarity. Tonight, we expose the intricate web of control, crisis, and the critical pursuit of truth in a world grappling with escalating environmental and societal challenges. From political maneuvering in Hong Kong to the fiery destruction of ancient forests, and the quiet battle for inclusivity in science, we uncover the hidden threads connecting seemingly disparate events.
We'll examine how political power reshapes public service, how governments tackle public health, and the stark, undeniable realities of our changing climate. We'll delve into the scientific tools that reveal Earth's past and the vital need for diverse voices to chart our future.
Our investigation will reveal who benefits and who loses when the truth is obscured, or when systemic issues are ignored. Prepare for a deep dive into the forces shaping our planet and our societies, and the relentless quest to hold power accountable.
Because on Truth Report, we don't just report the news, we unearth the truth behind it. Stay with us.
Our first story takes us to Hong Kong, where authorities have announced an unprecedented open recruitment for 2 director-level civil service positions. The headline-grabbing requirement: strong political acumen.
This isn't just about hiring new staff, it's a significant shift. According to the South China Morning Post, the government is seeking directors for the Information Services Department and, crucially, the Food and Environmental Hygiene Department. The emphasis on political loyalty over professional independence is a deeply worrying development.
Let's break down the implications. For the Food and Environmental Hygiene Department, this director oversees critical areas like food safety, waste management, and public health campaigns, all of which have direct environmental impacts. Historically, these roles demanded technical expertise and impartial judgment.
The shift to prioritize political acumen raises serious questions about the independence of Hong Kong's civil service. After the imposition of the national security law, we've seen a steady erosion of autonomy. This move suggests that loyalty to the political establishment is now a prerequisite for positions that should be purely merit-based.
Who benefits here? Clearly, the government benefits by consolidating control and ensuring that department heads align with its political agenda. This diminishes the likelihood of independent advice or dissenting opinions, even on critical technical matters.
The losers are the citizens of Hong Kong, whose health and environmental protections could be compromised if decisions are driven by political expediency rather than scientific evidence or public need. An independent civil service acts as a crucial check and balance, ensuring policies are sound, not just politically convenient.
This move connects directly to broader power structures. It mirrors a trend seen in authoritarian or consolidating regimes globally, where public service is increasingly viewed as an extension of political power, rather than a neutral, expert body serving the populace. It's a calculated tightening of the reins.
Such appointments can have cascading effects. If environmental or public health policies are filtered through a political lens, the integrity and effectiveness of those policies can be severely undermined, potentially leading to long-term societal and environmental consequences. From Hong Kong, we move to Thailand, where the government is taking direct action to combat a national health crisis. Starting this week, 9 major coffee chains across the country have pledged to cut the default sugar content in some of their drinks by half.
This is a bold, top-down initiative aimed at tackling excessive sugar consumption, which the health department reports stands at an average of 21 teaspoons per Thai citizen daily. That's more than 3 times the recommended amount. The South China Morning Post details this significant public health push.
The facts are stark. Thailand is grappling with rising rates of diabetes and other non-communicable diseases linked to high sugar intake. This government-led campaign seeks to fundamentally alter a deeply ingrained cultural habit, the love for intensely sweet iced coffees and teas.
This isn't merely a suggestion. It's a coordinated effort involving major industry players. The government is using its influence to mandate a change in product formulation rather than just relying on public education campaigns, which often have limited immediate impact on deeply ingrained habits.
So, who benefits? Clearly, the health of the Thai population stands to gain significantly in the long term, potentially reducing the burden of chronic diseases. The government also benefits by demonstrating proactive leadership in public health, addressing a crisis that strains healthcare systems.
The immediate losers might be consumers who prefer their drinks excessively sweet, experiencing a temporary adjustment. However, in the grander scheme, it's a collective win. For businesses, while there might be initial adaptation costs, aligning with public health goals can enhance their social license to operate.
This initiative connects to broader power structures by illustrating how governments can, and sometimes must, intervene directly in consumer markets to address widespread public health crises. It's an example of state power being leveraged for what is deemed the greater good, beyond individual consumer choice.
It also highlights the global challenge of balancing corporate interests, individual freedoms, and public health. This kind of government action, if successful, could offer a blueprint for tackling other systemic issues, including aspects of climate-related health impacts or unsustainable consumption patterns. Now, for a direct and devastating consequence of our climate crisis. Wildfires in Patagonia, spanning Chile and Argentina, have not only claimed 23 lives but have also ravaged forests home to some of the world's oldest trees.
The Guardian reports that these fires, which blazed across huge areas in January, were made approximately 3 times more likely by global heating. This isn't speculation, it's a direct attribution from researchers at the World Weather Attribution Group.
The facts are horrifying. We are talking about Alerce trees, some of which are thousands of years old, irreplaceable living monuments to natural history. Their destruction is a loss of biodiversity and a blow to the global carbon sinks they represent.
The hot, dry, and windy conditions fueling these infernos are precisely what climate scientists have been warning us about for decades. This is the climate crisis manifesting in real time, with immediate and catastrophic impacts on ecosystems and human lives.
Who loses here? Humanity, in its entirety, loses these ancient trees and the unique ecosystems they support. The local communities in Patagonia lose their homes, their livelihoods, and their loved ones. The planet loses a critical part of its natural heritage and its ability to regulate climate.
There are no beneficiaries here, only victims. The climate crisis is a collective tragedy. The only benefit might be the stark clarity it provides, undeniable evidence of what happens when we fail to curb greenhouse gas emissions.
This tragedy connects to broader power structures by revealing the devastating costs of inaction. It exposes the failure of global governance to sufficiently mitigate climate change, allowing fossil fuel industries to continue operating largely unchecked, despite the clear scientific warnings.
It underscores the moral imperative for accountability. The governments and corporations that have downplayed climate science and actively lobbied against climate action are, in effect, contributing to these catastrophes and the destruction of our planet's invaluable natural resources. Moving from the stark reality of current climate impacts, we now turn to the critical science that helps us understand the long game of climate change. A Nature article highlights how researchers are using tree rings and salt lakes to give us clues about ancient rainfall patterns.
This isn't just academic curiosity. Understanding past climate changes, particularly rainfall, is fundamental to predicting future patterns and preparing for shifts in water availability, which are crucial for agriculture, ecosystems, and human societies.
The facts are that these natural archives, the annual growth rings of trees and the geological layers of salt lakes, provide invaluable proxy data. They allow scientists to reconstruct climate conditions going back hundreds, even thousands, of years, long before instrumental records existed.
This paleoclimate research, as detailed in Nature, is essential for validating climate models. If a model can accurately predict past climate conditions based on these natural records, it gives us greater confidence in its ability to forecast future climate scenarios, including extreme weather events.
Who benefits from this science? Everyone benefits from more accurate climate predictions. Farmers can better plan for droughts or floods, urban planners can design resilient infrastructure, and governments can develop informed water management strategies. It underpins effective adaptation.
The losers, if you could call them that, are the forces of climate denial and misinformation. This robust scientific evidence from natural archives directly refutes claims that current climate changes are merely part of natural cycles, because it provides a clear historical context for unprecedented warming.
This research connects to broader power structures by empowering evidence-based decision-making. It provides the scientific foundation necessary to challenge short-sighted policies driven by vested interests and to advocate for comprehensive, long-term climate action.
It's about arming policymakers and the public with undeniable truths about Earth's climate history. This knowledge is a powerful tool against those who would seek to delay or derail action by questioning the fundamental science of climate change. Our final story brings us to a different but equally crucial battle for truth: the fight for diversity and inclusion within environmental science and advocacy. Nature features the story of environmental sociologist Dorsita Taylor, who challenged a deeply prejudiced statement from her professor.
Imagine being told, black people are not interested in the environment. That's what Dorsita Taylor heard, and it sparked a lifetime of work to prove that professor wrong. Her journey highlights the systemic barriers and biases that have historically excluded diverse voices from environmental discourse.
The facts of Dr. Taylor's work are profound. She has dedicated her career to making the field of environmental sociology more welcoming to researchers of color, pushing for environmental justice, and demonstrating the rich, diverse perspectives often overlooked in mainstream environmentalism.
Her scholarship and activism illuminate how environmental issues disproportionately affect marginalized communities, and how the absence of those voices in research and policy leads to incomplete and inequitable solutions. This isn't just about fairness, it's about efficacy.
Who benefits from Dr. Taylor's pioneering work? Society as a whole benefits from a more inclusive, robust, and effective environmental movement. Communities of color, who are often on the front lines of environmental injustice, benefit from having their experiences and expertise recognized and integrated.
The losers are the entrenched, often homogeneous, power structures within academia, government, and NGOs that have historically perpetuated exclusion. They lose their comfortable, often unexamined, biases as Dr. Taylor forces a critical examination of who gets to define and address environmental problems.
This story connects to broader power structures by exposing the racial and social inequities that permeate even supposedly progressive fields like environmentalism. It highlights how implicit biases and systemic racism can limit our collective ability to understand and solve global crises.
Dr. Taylor's work is a powerful reminder that the fight for climate justice is inextricably linked to racial and social justice. We cannot achieve true environmental solutions without dismantling the very systems of power that perpetuate inequality and silence marginalized voices. What we've seen tonight, Maya, is a chilling pattern emerging across these seemingly disparate stories, a struggle for truth and control in a world under immense pressure. From political appointees in Hong Kong to scientific efforts to understand our past, the underlying currents are clear.
Absolutely, Alex. We see governments asserting control, whether through politically motivated civil service appointments that risk undermining expertise, or through public health mandates like Thailand's sugar reduction. This raises crucial questions about where the line is drawn between necessary intervention and unchecked power.
And the consequences of these power dynamics are stark. The wildfires in Patagonia are a visceral reminder of the undeniable, devastating impact of climate change, fueled by decades of corporate and governmental inaction and denial. These are not just natural disasters, they are human-exacerbated catastrophes.
While these fires represent the destructive consequences, the work of scientists using tree rings and salt lakes provides the bedrock of truth, offering historical context and crucial data for predicting our future. It's the silent, relentless pursuit of factual clarity against a backdrop of increasing uncertainty.
And at the heart of finding effective solutions is the need for diverse voices, as championed by Dr. Taylor. Her fight against exclusionary biases in environmental fields reminds us that systemic issues, like racism, directly impede our ability to collectively understand and address global crises equitably.
Each story, in its own way, underscores the critical battle for truth. Whether it's the truth about governmental transparency, the scientific truth of climate attribution, or the lived truth of marginalized communities, reporting without bias and demanding accountability is more vital than ever.
The narratives tonight reveal a critical juncture. As political systems shift, as our planet faces unprecedented environmental assaults, and as the fight for social justice continues, the need for independent, investigative journalism like ours has never been greater.
We must remain vigilant, questioning who holds power, how they wield it, and whose voices are amplified or silenced. Because the truth, in all its forms, scientific, political, and social, is our most powerful tool against the crises we face.
Thank you for joining us on Truth Report. We'll continue to dig deeper, bringing you the stories that truly matter.
Good night.